Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Bryan with another knife review for you. Today we have the WE 617 or 617, however you prefer to say it. I don't know your chosen vernacular. This is from WE Knives. Chinese company, makes mostly pretty high-end stuff. Little spoiler alert, you guys may own a WE and not know it. If you have a very high-end knife from a semi-custom manufacturer, such as recently Boost Blades put out a knife it's made by WE. A lot of them are made by WE. They're made in China and they're very freaking good at what they do. And a lot of knife manufacturers, for very justifiable and smart reasons, choose to use WE to make their stuff. So you may already own a WE and not even know it. This is the first one that I've gotten. This is in their kind of more budgety line. Some of their knives are $350, $400, $500. This is $100. The 617 line. It's currently actually on Blade HQ. If you want to go get a deal, if you're watching this video right now when I put this out, which is December 9th of 2017, you can hop on Blade HQ. This for $88, so that's like what, $12 off. But yeah, they make some really, really great knives. Really cool company. And I really like the way this one looked. I knew I needed to review a WE. I needed to get into that. I wasn't going to buy one of the super expensive ones. So I looked at, they have several models in this $100 sort of range. Shopped around. And I just like the way this one looks. I mean, let's get into the aesthetics right away off the bat. The harpoon tip on the blade. I know it's just to look cool, but I fell for it. I mean, I guess it does it probably gives a bit of weight to help with the flipper when it closes. Not that it needs any. We'll get to that. But, you know, it probably does make it feel a bit more fall shutty. But it really just looks cool. And you know what? I'm fine with that. I really am. It makes it look a bit more intimidating, which if you are concerned about that, this is definitely not a lunchroom knife. This is not the one that you open up around your boss, you know, to open a sandwich. And it's also a very large knife, which we'll get to that in the specs. But yeah, I love so many aesthetic things they do with this. I love the WE logo. I think the WE logo is really great. I'm super into branding. I have other businesses and I'm very conscious of that, and I love their branding. I think that's just a great logo. I like how they incorporate it into the pivot there. I also like how it's somewhat incorporated into the machining on the blade, and then it gets even better when you turn it sideways and you realize it also matches up with the jimping on the top of the blade. How freaking cool is that? That is so cool. The G10, the Contour G10 is just done very, very well. It has a machined titanium backspacer, machined titanium clip that all looks great. It's got titanium hardware that does use their own proprietary thing to screw them out, which I'm not super excited about. Not all WEs use this proprietary hardware, but a vast, vast majority of them do. And that I'm not as excited about, but honestly, I haven't had to take this one apart at all. I like that it's D2 steel, which is very good, and the only place it's marked, I don't know if we're going to be able to see it on here, is way down in there. I can see it from my eyes, but I don't know if you can. Way down in there, it says just little D2 right there. I think that's really cool. There's no other markings outside. It doesn't say like made in China on the outside or anything like that. I like the kind of stealthy sort of look of it. I love, and the logo is prominently displayed right there, so there's no need to have it on the blade. They did a lot of really good things right with this aesthetically. I mean, this is just talking from the viewpoint of my 18-year-old son. He thinks this is the coolest looking thing I've ever had in. He loves the look of this thing. He really, really, really likes it. But unfortunately, he's a lefty and it doesn't do left hand. So I was actually thinking about being a super awesome father. Let's take a moment to applaud my awesome fatherness. I thought about giving this to him, but it is right hand tip up only, unfortunately. Another cool thing about WE they do, and I guess this kind of falls in the aesthetics thing, but it comes in a pretty plain brown box that's hardly even a box. It's like a box-shaped paper bag, you know? It's not like it's just got pretty plain stuff on it, and you're like, oh, that's not very impressive. But then you take it out, and it comes in this awesome case. This is so cool. This is definitely the coolest case I've got a knife in. It's got the silica gel in it because it's D2. We'll get to a minute in that. It's not completely stainless steel, so you do want the don't eat me, take the moisture away thing. Congratulations purchase, certificate of authenticity thing. Really cool. This is like such a chamois feeling thing. This is the nice. A few knives now come with these cleaning cloths. This is the nicest feeling one. I have not even unfolded this yet because it's so nice. I don't want to mess it up. Oh, I dropped my don't eat me. Got to pick that up before the cat gets it. And as I said, it does come with a tool to work on it. I haven't even taken this out of the bag. I have not worked on this knife a bit. It hasn't needed it, but it does have the tool to be able to operate those unique kind of sort of Torx screws. All nice and fuzzy inside. I really like that it comes with this case. I think this case is really cool for a price point of, as I said, $100 or currently 88, depending on when you're watching this video. That's great, for that price point. That's really, really good. Let's get into some actual specs in this. Let's get techie about this. We're looking at a little over 8.5 inches long, about 8.6, we'll call it. We have a blade length of about 3.9 inches, cutting length about a quarter inch shorter than that because it has a really nice sharpening choil on it. So another great thing, really nice sharpening choil. And D2 is pretty easy to work with, so that's great. We have handle length of about 4 3/4. We have blade thickness 0.15, which for the height of this blade means that it's probably a pretty good slicer. And guess what? It is. Math works. Physics is a thing. It is a pretty good slicer. Overall weight 5.2 ounces. So yeah, it's not a terribly light knife. It's not crazy heavy for its size, but it is a big knife. And let's prove it right now by comparing it to some other knives, some other larger EDC kind of folders. I would still call it an EDC knife. I think it falls into that category, but you have your Spyderco Paramilitary 2. As you can see, it's just a little bit longer than that. Okay, it's a good amount longer than that. Oh, what else do we have? Something that you might actually, it's similar in that kind of thing. This is a Best Tech Scimitar. You'll see a review on that shortly, but also another kind of higher end Chinese ball bearing flipper. Oh, why not? Spyderco Shaman, because I've been carrying it a whole lot. It's significantly longer than that also, but this is a lot taller. Weight is almost exactly the same on them. And, oh, what's the last one? We'll do the ZT 801 tie. A little bit longer than that also, but also, again, thinner than that. So you're looking for, it's a kind of more a long thin than a short fat, so not going to make a that's what she said joke, because I'm better than that. I am better than that, guys. How dare you? Does come in a whole lot of colors, by the way. This is just the particular one I chose. This is the 617A, which means that it has the coated blade, which in the black G10, and several versions have the coated blade. They do make it in a whole lot of colors and stuff. It is good to get the coated blade if you're going to use it a whole lot. D2, again, is not a 100% stainless steel, so I've never, ever had a problem with staining or rusting on D2. Just keep it clean and it'll be fine. Oil it occasionally, but it's very rust resistant for a non-stainless, but you can get some stuff on it. So if you're really going to beat on it, just get the coating and then you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, it is a D2 steel blade. As I said, D2 holds great edge retention. It's a tool steel. It's not hard to sharpen. I have no problems at all with that. I do like the blade shape other than the harpoon. I'm not crazy about the harpoon, but it doesn't hurt anything, so just let it be there. But I do like the point, which is you don't want to pry in anything with this, but it does have good piercing capabilities. I like the shape of the swedge. It's pretty much shape of the swedge, sorry, shape of the blade, the cutting edge. It is pretty much a full flat grind. It goes pretty high up there. I do love that sharpening choil, and I like the jimping on it. And I like that it matches the logo. It's just so cool. I don't know why that makes me so happy, but it does. So no problems with the blade at all there. And you know, D2 at $100, that's about what you expect. Like that's one of the several steels you expect at that price. D2 S30V, something like that. And it's potato. You know which one you're gonna like more. We've already done the size comparison. I'm just kind of glancing at my notes here. I apologize. I'm just looking at them because I do that. Let's do some of the deployment stuff. That's kind of this knife's, you know, rock star moment. Wees are known to have, they're mostly all ball bearing flippers, and they're known to have awesome smooth deployment. And even though this isn't one of the high-end ones, yeah, it's still got it. It's still got it. This is so good to deploy, and almost even better to close. I mean, look at this. I'm trying to get the angle right on the camera. Just like nothing. Completely fall shutty. Oh, so smooth, so great. And this is one of the only knives I have to say. I've had this thing for almost a month, and we'll get to in a moment the next category why it took me a month to review it. And I don't think I've ever had it not fully deploy on the first try. I mean, right now here I'm gonna attempt to make it not open all the way. Yeah, I tried to make it open like a quarter halfway, and it's still open 3/4 of the way. It's so smooth. So smooth and so cool. Yep, we've got it going on when it comes to that. Abso-freaking-lutely. No complaints about it there. Now, ergonomically, I personally do have one complaint about it. And my initial draft of this review was not terribly complimentary. But I've watched enough other reviews, read enough other stuff, talked to a few guys personally who have them, that this is just me. I've said before on the review, or on the review on this channel, I have very skinny fingers. I've got long, skinny fingers. And on my long, skinny fingers, when I really grip on this thing, we'll see if you can see it. Yeah, you can see I've got a little dent from the liner lock. I could feel it on my finger all the time. I thought that was going to become an issue. First of all, it hasn't. I carried this a whole lot, and it is not an issue. I thought it was going to be, but it isn't. And then I've watched other videos to realize that nobody else has that problem. Nobody else has even mentioned it. So I think it's just keep in mind, if you have very tiny, skinny fingers like me, that the jimping on the liner lock is a bit severe. But other than that, I love the jimping on the blade. I love the shape of the blade. I love that when you, even no matter how hard you grip it, you do not feel this clip. Which again, skinny hands, and this clip doesn't bother me a bit. I love this machined clip, which we'll get into now. I guess we might as well get into the carry because we're kind of bleeding into it. Yeah, when you carry it, you only have that much knife sticking out, which is more than acceptable. That's perfectly fine. It has a titanium clip, titanium backspacer. I like the tie look. It's pretty subdued. It's not shiny, but it's not boring old black. And the contourness of it is pretty good in the pocket. It doesn't feel as big as it is. I mean, you feel the weight obviously, but it doesn't feel that big. The only thing I have with the, you know, if you were carrying it, where in a way, like not with the clip, but if you just drop it in your pocket, which I have a couple times, just had to drop it in my pocket, that freaking harpoon sticks out, and that's annoying. But you're probably not going to carry it that way because it's only one position right hand clip, so you're probably going to have it clipped on. But if you just have it floating around in your pocket, that stupid harpoon tip does kind of bother me. But when it's in your pocket regularly, it's very thin. It's very easy to get your hand by. Well, I guess I'd be going more like this, but yeah, it's easy to get your hand by. Pretty happy with it in the pocket. Doesn't feel quite as big as it is. So let's cut some stuff. That sounds like a thing to do. All right, this is the factory edge blade. Again, I said after like a month of medium use, I guess I would call it. Probably more like light use because I've had other knives I've been reviewing too. But still really good. Still no complaints. Don't feel a need to sharpen it. Still really, really good. And as I said, you know, it's a pretty good slicer. I slice a lot of cardboard. I talk about that all the time. You guys are probably like, why does he hate cardboard so much? I don't hate it. It's just a part of my job. But yeah, it still slices through cardboard really good. It's a great slicer. It's not the best one I have, but it's not like a Mannix 2, but it's not bad. It's perfectly fine. And it looks cool. It feels comfortable in the hand, other than that one thing that I'm getting used to and is just me. The price is good, the quality is outstanding, and it's so much fun to flip around. It's so much fun to play with. Yeah, this is a knife that I was initially not so hot on, and I decided to let's just wait a minute. There's already other reviews of this out. I don't need to rush it. Let's wait a minute and see. And now after playing with it for a month, I will say this is kind of the best conclusion I can have from this. I had this for sale, and then I withdrew the sale because I had it for sale on a forum, and then I wasn't getting many offers anyway. And then I thought, you know what, it's kind of growing on me. I'm just gonna keep it. So I withdrew the sale, and it is a very good entry into this magical world of high-end Chinese flippers. It's a great entry-level drug for that. It's really, really good that way. So if you're kind of interested, you know, oh, everybody's buying all these Chinese flippers every time I want to try one out. This is probably not a bad choice. The Wii 617. This is the A that comes in this color, that comes in a million different colors, as I said. So 617A is just A. The A just indicates this color combination. Just take a look out there. You're going to find a color that you want. You're going to find a style that you want. And you're probably going to wind up buying another Wii. So you're going to buy this for $100, and then 6 months from now, you're going to buy another one for $250. Because I've already kind of shopped at the $250 ones. That's just how I am. But I've been Bryan. I hope you enjoyed this review. Have a good one.